For every hero, there's at least 10 villains, but there's always a few that strike a little differently than others. These villains are either awfully hated or universally loved. Hello everyone, and welcome to my secret base. My name is Eddie, and today we'll be looking at villains that are loved. Before we begin, I just want to remind you to please like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you know when I upload a new video. Alright, let's get started. Let's begin with one of the most infamous villains in all of gaming, King Koopa himself, Bowser. Introduced in the first Mario game, Bowser has become synonymous with our favorite red-wearing plumber. He is often the main villain of Mario games. Bowser has become an integral part of the franchise and became a fan favorite himself. This became more evident in the game Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which due to his prominence in the game, he was considered one of the protagonists. I for one really enjoyed finally getting to play as a big bad outside of Smash Bros, and it was a good experience, and I honestly would love to get a Bowser standalone game. Next, we move on to the MCU and one of the most prominent characters in cinema today, Loki. Introduced in the first Thor film as the main antagonist, he quickly became a fan favorite, with his fandom exploding after the first Avengers movie. Largely due to the great performance by Tom Hiddleston, who actually auditioned for the role of Thor, Loki has been heavily featured in the MCU with additional appearances in Thor: The Dark World, Ragnarok, Avengers: Infinity War, in which saw the villain's full conversion to a hero after he sacrificed himself for the sake of his brother. Though, to note, this conversion began in Ragnarok, in which he played more of an anti-hero role, which once again culminated with his sacrifice during the events of Infinity War. In the events of Avengers Endgame, we saw a 2012 Loki escape with the Tesseract after a mistake from Tony during the time heist. This 2012 Loki will be getting his own series on Disney+, and it is very likely that this Loki once again will become a villain, and I for one will be there cheering him in his villainy. Alright, moving on to the world of anime and to one of the most famous anime villains of all time, and also one of the most loved, just because the guy is just so evil that he's actually charming. And yes, I am talking about the Emperor of the Universe himself, Lord Frieza. Frieza became quite iconic as he was part of one of the most historic moments in anime history, as he was the one that pushed Goku to become the legendary Super Saiyan. From there on, the villain became an integral part of the series, being one of the most recognizable anime characters and, in a way, one of the most loved. I remember how hyped I was when they announced Resurrection of F. Oh my god, I just couldn't wait to see how did Frieza come back. What was he gonna do? What's with this new transformation? I was just going crazy because it made the series feel whole again after Battle of Gods. During the events of Super, he was brought back for the Tournament of Power, in which he played such an important role in Universe 7's victory, being one of the last men standing and also being very important in taking down Jiren. Afterwards, he was brought back to life by Whis and became one of the main villains in the next movie, which saw him bring in Broly into the mix. I am super excited to see what else we could see from Frieza-sama in the future. Alright, taking a trip back to the MCU for a villain that became so iconic that he is often now called this generation's Darth Vader. I actually did not expect them to become this big, but the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, came in and snapped his fingers into our heart. While he was the villain of Infinity War, the movie actually revolved around him and was written as the protagonist of the movie. After the movie came out, everyone went crazy for Thanos, with countless memes, articles mostly specifically declaring that Thanos did nothing wrong. There's even a subreddit for this, which I am actually a part of. And to be fair, by the looks of everything that's happening this year, I can clearly see that he actually did nothing wrong. Thanos, please come save us. I think that we'll see more of Thanos in the future, probably not as the main antagonist. I believe that Marvel will likely explore his past, as that's a story that a lot of people want to see. Maybe we could get a what if series based on a universe in which our savior Thanos triumphed over the Avengers. Last and absolutely not least in any way, we have the Clown Prince himself, the Joker. Let's be honest, the Joker is quite possibly the most loved villain in any universe, or even the Joker could be considered one of the most loved characters overall. It's hard to tell when he exploded as a fan favorite, since it seems like he's always been a favorite. His aura even transferred to his sidekick Harley Quinn, who was introduced in the Batman animated series and became so popular that she was also introduced in the comics, with iconic performances from the likes of Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill in the animated series and in the Arkham series, Heath Ledger, who by many is considered the best Joker, and lastly Joaquin Phoenix, who in 2019 started in the movie Joker, which grossed over $1 billion. Actually, the Joker movie was kind of a new beginning for the character, as before Phoenix, the role belonged to Jared Leto, whose performance wasn't as well received. With a new Batman movie starring everyone's favorite glittering vampire, Robert Pattinson, in the works, it is likely that his franchise will get its own Joker, and I cannot wait to see who gets to perform as the iconic villain. And while we're at it, I'm actually very excited to see if they decide to go on with a sequel to the Joker movie, which I will also love to see. Well, that's it for this week. What other villains do you think belong in this list? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please check out some of my other videos, which you can find in the screen right now, and like me on Facebook. Alright, see ya!